So you want to do a raid, huh? You think you're cool enough to do a raid? Well, fun fact, raids are actually pretty tough. So let's talk about how we actually go about doing this. Fundamentally, raids are a small form of attack in which we are targeting key enemy locations and we then withdraw after the fact. It's very important. The key defining characteristic for raid is that we get out at the end. The reason we do this is that typically what we're doing is we're targeting key enemy fortifications, locations. Maybe it's a command post with all these tents. Maybe we have a mortar firing position, or we have key enemy air defense assets. Whatever it is, typically these things, they're great to destroy. We want to knock them out, but they're usually somewhat buried behind enemy lines, so that if we end up staying here and saying, oh, we own this now, suddenly our 40-man platoon is going to be staring down the barrels of a 100-man company just coming down the road, because they're not that far away. So it's very important that we get out of here after we do the stuff that we need to do on the objective. So when we actually look at the objective, how do we actually go about setting it up? Well, fundamentally, it's very similar to an attack, except that it's very important ahead of time to isolate the objective. We want to set up key observation posts on expected enemy advance. So if we're near a road, where is the enemy going to come from? Where is that quick reaction force to come from? That way, these guys, once the fighting starts, if suddenly a massive enemy force comes by, they at least can provide early warning, hopefully hold them off for a little bit while the main body gets out of the objective, and we can, put some distance between us and the QRF, right? So after you have the enemy isolated on the objective, then we push up our support element. These guys then, just like in a squad attack, can lay down heavy supporting fire to suppress and fix the enemy. Because keep in mind, with enemy locations like this, typically they are enemy defense positions. They're not just going to let you go in and raid their command posts. They're probably going to have sentries. They're probably going to have forces in there. They're probably going to have barbed wire, stuff like that set up. It's going to be a defended location, and you need to be ready to suppress the enemy on that location, and then the assault team comes in and prepares to breach whatever obstacles are set up. Maybe there aren't any obstacles, but you should probably expect obstacles. And we apply the same SOSR technique where we suppress, obscure, secure, reduce, and assault, all that stuff. Go watch the trench video if you forgot what SOSR is all about. So then once they get in, they breach, they do all the stuff they need to do, get all the bad guys, blow up the mortars, destroy grab the documents, whatever it is that they're doing. If the QRF shows up, the OPs are able to provide some early warning, provide some time. Then after they go through, they do the whole shift lift and everything, go through, do whatever they need to do, then it's time to get out. The egress for the raid is fundamentally very simple. We have the assault leave first, because they're the one in most harm's way. Then you have the support. Once those guys are out of the fight, then and only then do the security teams come back as well. And then everybody goes back and links up at key locations back that is predetermined ahead of time. Raids are tricky to execute, very, very effective when done right, but you need to do your deliberate planning. You need to make sure everybody knows the plan, everybody knows the signals to shift lift fire, everybody knows the calls for what it means to withdraw, and everybody knows where that link up point is. Because if those things go wrong, if things get messy, you can get in a really, really bad situation where you are suddenly on the objective and you've got a massive enemy force coming in to kick you in the teeth.